Oh boy. Self-control. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such there is no law. Galatians 5, verses 22 and 23. What comes to mind when you think of someone who has great self-control? Life of the party? Fun to be around? Probably not. When most of us think of someone who practices the biblical quality of temperance, most of us think of a subdued, uninteresting people. Recent studies, however, paint a completely different picture. People with great self-control tend to be happier and enjoy life more than the rest of us. Why? Psychologist Jeremy Dean explains, instead of agonizing over whether to indulge in fattening foods, extramarital affairs, or cheap reality TV, people with high self-control find it easier to make the right choice. This is part of the reason why they are happier. That and the fact that they got better grades at school, earn more money, and have better physical and mental health, and so on. In other words, the practice of temperance leads to delayed gratification. While most people are looking for a quick fix, their level of satisfaction is fleeting. They're always chasing it. The excitement of easy choices wears thin quickly, leaving a deep sense of dissatisfaction. Personally, I find the easy choices too overstemming and I get lost. But those who consistently make wise choices that deny self in the short term have the satisfaction of reaping rewards that last a lifetime. Better health, more meaningful accomplishments, and so on. The Christian life itself is geared toward delayed gratification. The faith chapter in the book of Hebrews explains that God's people have always put self aside in favor of waiting for the kingdom. Moses, for example, cast aside a life of ease in Egypt to suffer with God's people in the wilderness, knowing that the ultimate reward would be much greater. Well, Moses was specifically selected by God, in my opinion, from birth, because of all the things that surrounded his birth in the immediate aftermath, for this specific purpose of being God's instrument in this example, because he didn't do it himself. It was God doing it. But that's for another time. One of the fruit of the Spirit, as Paul explains, is self-control, as we read earlier. In this life, passing up short-term delights in favor of a longer, more vibrant life is one of the things that contributes to having the more abundant life that Jesus promises. While there is no harm in the occasional treat, favoring self-control means living longer and healthier in the long run. Not necessarily, because there are no guarantees in this life. But as studies are now demonstrating, it not only means better health, but also a much deeper level of life satisfaction.